Hello, it's KittenouSbeast's gaming videos for cats and their people. KatzeLande Prime, episode 5. We're going to continue working on the base. Um, I do have to uh, fully disclose that I did goof up a little bit uh, this past video. I had finished the video and I closed the program without saving, so I had to replay part of cycle 23. So if things aren't perfectly matched up, I do apologize for that. And I'm actually going to talk about some of the things that I maybe did a little differently. I don't think I did very much differently, but just to kind of make sure there's no disconnect between what's happening in this episode versus last episode. Okay, so our present goals are to finish the sanitation system that we've developed. Um, One thing that I had noticed right at the end of the episode was that we've really lost breathability on the bunkhouse. We're going to have to take action on that during this day so we're not having this issue with our duplicants. Um, so in order to kind of further that along, I'm going to dig these tiles out here and place some airflow tiles here just to help create sort of a path for this carbon dioxide to flow. That's my first effort at addressing that issue. Uh-oh, these little pipsqueaks are loose in the base. I had these eggs and never stored them. So they've hatched, and now, for better or worse, I've got two little pipsqueaks running around my base. I'm gonna maybe have to take care of that issue. I had noticed that I had tried the sweeping errand, and I had reset this, and I don't think I had yet in the other playthrough. So just make sure, you know, empty that out so you can continue your sweeping tasks. That was full, and so none of them were going to do the sweeping project. All right. Now, we do have to note that the system is not perfect. What will eventually happen is the amount of polluted water is going to exceed the amount of demand on the regular water, and this will eventually fill up. And once it's filled with polluted water, the toilets won't work anymore and the sinks won't work. So we do have to finish this system, and I have a plan for that. We'll talk that through in a few seconds. So, um, what we'll want to do is just make sure that any excess polluted water is stored. I don't want to dump it back out into the world, so we're going to go ahead and build a liquid reservoir to hold the additional polluted water from the system. It's a pretty simple solution to that problem. The piping is just go ahead and pipe that right across. Doesn't solve the problem of the water. I mean, again, this could continue to produce more polluted water and fill this whole reservoir up, and the system could back up eventually. But uh, this is going to buy us plenty of time, and that time will allow us to devise a more complete solution. I'm going to reduce the priority on this sweeping task because I do want them to finally build these tiles here. And I'll let them dismantle these structures here. Oh, look, that little Pip is free and wild down here. Oop, we've got another achievement. Royal Flush. We've turned the audio of the game back on. There we go. All right. So, unfortunately, we've got Ari stuck here, and he can self-rescue in that situation. And I haven't been assigning any skills, so we do have a couple skill points to spend. So Ruby's certainly up there and can maybe get a couple additional features for us. This might be valuable, so I'll go ahead and give her the field research skill. And Ari has another skill point, and I think we should probably improve his carrying capacity, just so he's just a little bit more efficient. Great. Alright, so, got that empty space there. Have to think about what we want to do. Use the priority on these tiles. We do want to work on that carbon dioxide flow issue. Hopefully that will help address it. And, ooh, some oxylite. Plus 10 machinery, that's nice. Okay, so not a bad set of dupes here, but not really that great either. We're just going to go with the oxylite here. Alright, so hopefully that will help create a little bit of a pressure difference and draw down some of this carbon dioxide into this chamber down here so that our duplicants can breathe freely. Put a couple more supports in place to help airflow. I want to get those done before the end of the day. Missed our chance. Haven't quite done enough. Poor duplicants are not going to get a good night's sleep just yet. Gotta figure out a way to get this gas situation under control. I'm hoping that that aluminum ore will do it. And if this doesn't do the trick, it might be time for me to figure out another use for this chamber down here. Yeah. And that's exactly what I'm going to go ahead and do. I'm going to rebuild my dormitory up higher so that we don't have this issue with the air. So let's go ahead and work on that project real fast. Now, according to the room design, we can get as big as 64 tiles for our barracks. So let's just check our volume here. Okay, so we'll go to there. I am going to want to have some capacity for airflow. I may want to figure out if I can get some of these tiles down so I can create additional channels for airflow. And this way, my living quarters will be near the restrooms, and I'll be using that oxygen diffuser to make sure that there's plenty of fresh air going right to my duplicates so that they can rest easily. Alright, nearly finished over there with this last touches on the sanitation project. We'll revisit this area later and take care of what are we going to do with that extra liquid waste, that polluted water? What can we do with it? We'll be able to put it to good use, but that's going to have to be in a little while. Alright, so I'm going to want to start thinking about what to do about these little pips, because I don't want them running around causing too much trouble. Hesitating on the idea of murdering them, that's not a good idea. I might want to put them to use though. Looks like my duplicants are very excited about the prospects of getting a good night's sleep. They've done a great job building this in pretty quick time here. So I'll assign them up out of the old. We'll go ahead and recycle everything. Now, this is an opportunity for me to take this problem with this carbon dioxide and sort of rethink it into a solution to a need. So, obviously, it's not great to have this carbon dioxide here, but if I move quickly enough, we can sort of jujitsu this into a upgrade. So we've got carbon dioxide atmosphere in this small chamber here. Right next to our electric grill, we can put some food storage and we can start to grow some mushrooms right here. That's gonna be kind of possibly what I'm thinking of doing. There's some additional space for expansion that I can take advantage of. Get rid of these native plants, take care of these pips and this stuff, and relocate that pip into a little ranch for pips. So let's update our objective. Let's go ahead and go with time for some mushrooms, mushroom farm. Okay. Got some additional skills here. So Bert has one skill point, and so does Hassan. So Hassan, I'm gonna try and get to ranching soon, and Bert, we're not gonna be needing super duper hard digging for a little while, so I might go with the tinkering route and play into Bert's strength. He already has 11 machinery, so going that route will just make him even more powerful in that area. let's go ahead and figure that part of it out. We'll need a way of controlling the slime from producing some bad slime gas. So we need a place to be able to store the slime, and we need a place to have our mushrooms be. Without any light, the shine bug is kind of in our way here. It's even completing the project in terms of the mushrooms. So hopefully that shine bug will leave soon. So beyond that, what we'll need is a way of sanitizing our dupes after going and messing with the slime, because they'll have to run that slime errand for a little while. So we need to have some sanitation in here also. So let's go ahead and put a couple of hand sanitizers here. Alright, and we'll go ahead and kind of add a chamber down here. For the mushrooms. Need a bottle emptier. We can place our mushroom farm plots. Let's go ahead and dump some salt water in there. Boost priority a little bit. Alright. We don't have very many of these mushroom seeds, so we're going to have to start with the ones we have and hope we get a few more in time. Oops. Maybe I can cancel that. Yeah, okay, that's good. Don't want to put too much salt water in there, just a little bit is what we were looking for. We can build our storage bin for slime. We don't have a ton of slime yet. I don't even have slime on my filters here. Just a little bit. So we'll have to boost the priority of this over the priority of this one. So this will just be a temporary measure to get the little bit of slime where it needs to be. Okay, so our slime's moved over. And what I'll do is increase the priority back on that one. And we'll just sort of limit the number of kilograms on this to half. That way when we start harvesting more slime and storing it, eventually the overflow will go naturally into this other storage bin, so that the chore for fertilizing these mushrooms is reduced in length. We're all idle, we're ready for some work. Everything seems to be pretty much taken care of except for that sweeping errand up by the restroom. And we also need to do a sweeping errand here. Get that stuff put away. Speaking of putting stuff away, I should probably set up a little bit of storage in here to make the future projects easier on my duplicates. Yep. And we've run out of algae. We'll need to make sure we go and get some more so that we can keep the air at a decent pressure. You can see we're already kind of losing pressure here. Although these oxy ferns are doing a great job of keeping this area with plenty of oxygen. If I just crack these here, I can probably get some of that to flow up into the base. And a generation warning popping up. We're maybe 50 kilograms under production, what we need. So we'll need to get some algae somehow. And the way forward for us is going to be this way. And unfortunately, well, I mean, the germs are going down. Still not quite safe for my tastes, but lower enough where I feel like maybe in a few cycles we can kind of do some more work down here. And in the meantime, we need to start planning on doing some work up here, even though looks like there's some slime lung up here as well. And we can't be pinned in too much. We need to kind of make some progress on that on the base. Thankfully we have Bert with the abyssalite mining skill, so we can punch through over here. And I'm going to cancel that because I do need to get set up with some deodorizers first. So, what materials are we really using mostly? Mostly igneous rock, so get some storage set up for that. And we're also using granite, so putting some storage for those two items on this main line for the base is going to be helpful for dealing with future construction projects. While we're waiting for some action here, we can go ahead and start to consider solving some chore issues with the usage of water down here. So right now we're kind of depending on the duplicates to run that water errand, but we could use some plumbing to reduce the demands on the duplicates. So we'll go ahead and set up a pump here to move the water for the duplicates. And we'll need to do some pipes for those plants. Alright, so we want to get... Oh, I don't have the one that works with the automatic pipes yet. So I gotta research that. Alright, here it is. I might want to do both of these researches. So, start with that, getting the farm tile that receives the pipe inputs. Alright, so both of our deodorizers are ready to go. We can break the seal on this chamber here and allow that to work. Some additional printables are available. Ooh, some water. Another researcher, but look at that. Shouldn't those be mutually exclusive? But I'm gonna go with the omelets. That'll really make my duplicate stay, I think. So we've got mushrooms growing. That's good. They don't take very long to grow, and they will give us a 2,400 calorie mushroom and that we can repurpose with an additional bonus in being slightly better food with more calories. So mushrooms are the way to go. So that's 2,800 calories across maybe 8 cycles. Takes a little longer for them to grow, but they are a better food source than the meal would, which take 3 cycles to grow, but only produce 600 calories, so a lot less energy dense food. Mushrooms are going to be a much better source of food for our duplicates. Everybody's furiously working. Hopefully we'll have that pump set up soon. So as soon as we complete this research, we'll be able to upgrade the tiles here and have some more automatic work on this oxyfern farm that I have. Great. So we will deconstruct these ones and construct upgraded ones in their place. It's just one less thing for our duplicates to have to deal with in terms of chores for processing of the carbon dioxide into oxygen. it's not pumping to this one. Alright. Yeah, you can already see that this system is pressurized, and we're already getting some excess polluted water. Almost a full tile already. So it's good to put that in place, because if that eventually had backed up, it would cause us additional problems. There it goes. Yeah, it's flowing. We'll get all those oxyferns back in place, and it will not be anything that our duplicants have to spend time maintaining. Once it's set in place, they will not have to come down here to fetch water for it. It will just happen automatically. And eventually we might get additional oxyfern seeds, so we can even plant a few more when we find them. For instance, this oxyfern here, maybe I'll grab that one. It's not really getting much use in its natural state. There's one down here that is getting good usage though. I don't know if I would move that one. This one here, maybe I'd move that one. So we will be able to fill in these tiles with additional oxyfern plants. Alright, taking a look at what we got going on over here. So we have had a little infiltration of slime lung germs here. Not very much though. And this oxygen is kind of... looks like it's getting purified pretty quick. That's largely due to the lack of these slime tiles being heavily activated. So if I can kind of get in there and beat those slime tiles and maybe purify the rest of this oxygen, this will be a nice channel for me to move forward into this biome. Yeah, it's actually probably safe enough for my guys to walk in there now, so... set up a deodorizer up here on a stick, so to speak. Run some power. Again, that's probably one of the bigger shocks to players of the game from pre-DLC. Now those little deodorizers cost power, so you have to make sure that they're powered up. Yeah. It's very interesting how different the sterilization process went between this area and this area. It just didn't go quite as fast, largely due to me forgetting to maybe take out these slime blocks. If I had destroyed these, maybe this area would be purified by now. So, not the perfect attempt at breaching down here, and that's kind of a mistake because I really want to get to this natural gas. Take me a lot longer to try and engineer something the back way versus just going straight down and getting access to it. Thankfully, it's just idle, it's not dormant. When it gets dormant, then I'm going to get anxious. Because the dormancy period is your opportunity to get in there and capture it so that you can use it more easily. Alright, so we are making our way. We are again out of algae. We want to get off that algae train as soon as possible. It's going to be a little challenging. Plenty of algae resources for us over here, as long as we can get this plugged in and clean up some more of this polluted oxygen. Yep, they're going to deliver the sand and we're going to get rid of this pocket of polluted oxygen. Watch those little slime lung germs disintegrate. Oh, I did want to get that other research for food, ranching. We're definitely going to be working on a ranch very soon. So, and with our mushroom farm kind of sort of finished. Do we have another mushroom yet? Nope. Okay. So, I want to kind of maybe start thinking about how we're going to take advantage of this space over here. This is just regular old polluted oxygen, so this will be easy for us to take advantage of. And all these natural resources up here that we can just grab, so we'll go ahead and start to take advantage of this zone. So let's update our goals. We're going to explore the slime. Right. So go ahead and harvest some algae to keep our base going. Our duplicates now have more time to work. You might want to start to even think about maybe even look at maybe look at a power upgrade as well. Yeah. So over here, I'm kind of noticing there's this little channel here. Why not go ahead and upgrade my battery over here? I'll throw down a jumbo battery. And I'll eventually eliminate this other battery here. Maybe even put a lamp in so that our novice research goes faster. Because we're not... Oh, we do get the lit workspace bonus. We're close enough. So, never mind. Some excitement. Some thimble reeds, maybe? No, I'm going to get loads of those. +9 strength. Oh, decreased husbandry. Quick learner. Maybe. Some food. Wow, they're really hitting me with lots of food in these care packages they're sending me. I mean, I said, oh, I'm at a deficit for food. Maybe I'll put in these mealwood plants. And look, I've already got some mushrooms going. So, you know, I have not been hurting for food, even with picking up that extra duplicate. So we're going to want to get down into this polluted oxygen, and look, we can even see into some of these neighboring biomes. Here we've got a breached rust biome here. That's something we can take advantage of. There's lots of iron right here, a nice big seam of it. That's really nice. That's going to really help us out. Unfortunately, there's this carbon dioxide. And we're so far away from our carbon dioxide sink, there's no way we're going to be able to channel that all the way over there. So we're going to have to eventually deal with carbon dioxide over on this part of our base. Oh, I got another dusk cat. Lucky me. Come on now, I either have the seed or I don't, right? Getting a bunch of algae off the top of this biome here. And again, the germs are just basically diminished to the hundreds. That kind of exposure is not going to be dangerous to the duplicates at all, so... Oh, hold on a second. What's his face plant in here? pips are fully grown, they'll start getting into mischief of all kinds. Throwing seeds everywhere, and wish I had a wrangling talent to deal with some of their shenanigans. A lot of my duplicates might be wasting time dealing with the messes that these guys make. And they're full grown, maybe I should just get some meat out of the deal. It's a little brutal, but I don't have anybody to take care of them properly. Maybe that was a little barbaric, I do apologize, but we don't have loads of time to deal with their shenanigans. Something was glitched up with that tile, so... Alright. We gonna get to my battery over here? What's the deal? Should probably have my aluminum reserves on here, just so I have a sense of what my supplies are like. Alright. Can we plant our dust cap? There we go. I've added a little bit of battery capacity just to reduce the number of operating chores we have to deal with. The extra capacity will just make sure that these pumps, which hardly ever run, handled properly. We have some demands of power. They're very, very low power though. Most of these machines are only going to ever be used one at a time, so I've been able to get by with this manual generator for quite some time. Eventually we're going to need to switch strategies. We're definitely going to need a power plant to deal with the upcoming pressures of the power production. Alright, so now that we've pretty much sterilized the atmosphere here, we can consider our approach down this way. What I'll go ahead and do is start to sort of form a sink this direction so that the carbon dioxide does actually head down this way. We'll maybe be able to develop a carbon treatment plant or something over here. But one of my biggest goals is to get down here and start taking care of business, because we need to get this opened up. This has been kind of a hindrance. Alright, so let's start making that happening. I need to start increasing priority to draw my duplicates over this way. Fabulous. Get some power over here. Alright, so we're going to want to hedge our bets here in terms of keeping this sterile. It's not too high pressure, but it is significantly more than up here, so we are going to get a pretty big blow up of gas. So I'm putting a deodorizer here, and we are going to place deodorizers, a couple of deodorizers here as well. And I'm going to certainly get one up high, because we don't want to have a polluted oxygen gas pocket just kind of lingering. So we'll put one over here as well. should be sufficient for the next phase of the breach over here. So we'll just prioritize all that so it happens. Alright, we're gonna be good to go any second here. Great work, guys. We're all gasping for air like, come on, boss! Go ahead and pop it open now. Again, it's not germy, it's just diluted oxygen. No germs involved. So as this starts to flow up, we'll get increased oxygen gas pressure here, which will force the carbon dioxide down into this chamber below. It may take a little while, but it'll get there. Meanwhile, this polluted oxygen kind of wants to rise up. It's getting processed into clean oxygen, and we're getting that sort of rotation happening here eventually. When my duplicates come and finish these airflow tiles, it'll probably occur a little bit more fast. Speaking of food and refrigeration, since I have created a sterile atmosphere very close to my grill, I could store my food down in this sterile atmosphere, power it up, and get some nice refrigeration on the food supplies that I have. So they should not decay. It'll cost me a little bit of power, but it's maybe worth the price. And with this expanded battery capacity, you know, we can have a little bit of a power drain on the grid and not have my duplicates working non-stop to keep the power up. Alright, checking out what's going on over here. Yeah, we're gonna have to wait a little while, I think, for this to flow down. It'll really help when we crack these tiles here. Alright. With this opened up to 3 tiles, it won't be long before most of this polluted oxygen is pushed up by the carbon dioxide. It's processed into clean oxygen, and we can make an access to this unknown zone over here. Alright, so we'll extend our ladder down. Look at our algae reserves. We've spiked. Although they just did a big resupply on it, so. But look at us. Oh wow, we've got plenty of algae. Let's go ahead and submit a bioscan to open that door. Finally. It was really annoying to have this door on the wrong side, but we've opened it up. Oh wow! We can open these lockers up, get little clues into the story. That's great. Rummage into there and maybe find an outfit. Get ourselves a couple of nice outfits real fast. And this is a nice machine. The neural vacillator will allow us to get a nice big upgrade into one of our duplicants. Oh, look, warm sweaters. Perfect for going into a cold environment like this one over here. Some salt water. Oh, looks like I made a goof there, huh? We lost our salt water to my ladder in my haste there. And now we've lost pressure on our bleach stone and polluted dirt. So we'll go ahead and just move both of those over to this. Maybe what I'll do is I'll just copy the settings and then reduce the priority of this one. That should cause duplicants to move it over real quick. There we go. Alright, crisis averted. We gotta clean that mess up though. Who's gonna get the boost? Who should get the boost? Who's been great? Who's been doing a great job for us? Bert? I feel like Bert has been doing great, but is there any denying Ruby's contribution? I mean, she has been researching like crazy. Look at our tech tree. I mean, you know, look at how many researches we've completed. I mean, Ruby's really been working hard to keep us going. So I feel like Ruby deserves the perk. Let's give it to Ruby. Maybe she'll get a good one. We'll see. Oh, what a great perk. Deep Diver's Lung. Perfect. Ruby's now going to be able to consume less oxygen for the colony. That's a great bonus. Suit wearing plus athletics. Yokel. Mouth breather. That's not a good one to have. Loud snorer, plant murderer. Suit wearing. Suit wearing, researching, animal lover. Okay. Alright, none of those were singing the right song for me, so... Yeah, so we do have some polluted oxygen lingering down here. We might want to move some deodorizers down to deal with it, and we're going to have a constant sort of flow of polluted oxygen from polluted water that's exposed to open air tiles. So it'll always be outgassing a little bit. So we will need to solve that by just putting some additional deodorizers down here. I think what I may do is go maybe to this height, and we'll drop our ladder down, drop a couple of mesh tiles in here. Bring the power line down. All right. And we're gonna actually set up a little bit of an oxygen supplement system over here. It'll be nice to have a good flow of fresh oxygen up into this chamber, but I'm not going to go with a algae diffuser. I'm going to go with something else. Oh, I see. There's this aggressive slime lung infection coming up here. So we'll just take care of that from the bottom. Getting hit with the yucky lungs. Some dusk cats. Hopefully we'll be alright for sand for a little while. We did get a good pocket of it over here. We can harvest if we need it. But just got to get these deodorizers set up so that we're not dealing with issues with sanitation of that air. Let's take a look at some of these alerts, database entries, and so on. Okay, so we have set up a refrigerator, and we'll just go ahead and deconstruct that one and put everything in there for now. And prioritize that. We got an additional fungal spore, so we'll go ahead and just add to our farm. You just sort of slowly allow the farm to grow, and we could even have the farm consume this entire chunk of our base just to keep it simple. Once we get more of these set up, we'll be able to actually draw down on the meal lice. This is sort of a time-intensive crop. It grows fast, it needs to be harvested more frequently, so if we can replace it with some mushrooms that require far fewer errands, that's a good play for us. Alright. So, let's take a look. A little power upgrade, jumbo battery, breach into the slime biome. We've pretty much passed it, and we have access to some additional biomes now. We'll talk more about those next time. We will continue our work on trying to deal with this slime lung infection down here. I really need to take advantage of this space here, so I'm going to have to breach into that eventually. But in the meantime, we've done a great job bypassing this hazard and setting ourselves up for some additional solutions to some problems. So that's great. Hopefully your cat has fallen asleep or has walked away, which is perfect for me. Great job. And I hope you've enjoyed the video, and we'll be seeing you soon.